Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. First of all, I want to thank you so much for your likes, for your comments, for your thumbs up on the previous tutorials. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy what I'm making. In today's tutorial, we are going to make this beautiful sweater dress. It's very simple. We'll be using half double crochet and slip stitch throughout. You can make it oversized or a true fit to you. The oversized sweaters are trendy these days, so go for it. In this tutorial, I'll be making it in size medium. Okay guys, let's begin and have fun. Okay, let's get started. The materials we need: 5.5 millimeter hook and category 4 yarn. The sample that we are making is medium, size medium, and after calculating half of my bust, I need 60 stitches. Okay, so we're going to start with slip knot. And the way I started this cardigan is I started with foundation half double crochet. You are welcome to just start with just normal chains. I just like to use this because it makes a cleaner edge when working on garments. Okay, so I'm gonna chain 2. Okay, and then make my first chain, insert the hook. I'm gonna pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first one. So this would be my bottom, the bottom of my chain, sorry, my stitch, and this is my first half double crochet, and I'm inserting on both loops at the bottom. If this is too complicated, guys, just make normal chains for you, and then it will be much easier and quicker. I just like to start with this when I make most of my garments. So I'm going to work these until I get to 60. They are the same amount in terms of the back or the front panel. So right now I'm working on the back panel. Right, I am done with the back panel. It's pretty long, it won't fit all in on the screen, so I've folded it in half, and when I measure it, that's like 18 inches and a half, so in total it's like 36 inches long, and all in total I have like 94 rows. Okay, so the back panel is done. We are going to move on to the front panel. We are moving on to the front panel. We are going to start the same way as we did the back panel. Okay, I'm gonna start with slip stitch, and I'm going to make 60 foundation chain. If you do not want to make foundation chain, you can just make however number of chains you have plus the turning chain. Okay, I've already chained 2. I'm gonna start working on my first foundation chain. This is the first one. I'm gonna yarn over, insert my hook on both the loops at the bottom, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over into the first loop, yarn over, and pull through the last 2. So this is stitch number 1, stitch number 2. This is how you count your foundation chain. All right, still working away on the front panel. I am at the armpit level, so I'm going to continue working on the front panel until I have 10 rows left. My back panel is 94, so I'm going to work my rows to row 84. So I'll meet you guys at row 84, and then we will split for the neck shaping. We are moving on to making our neck opening for the cardigan. I have put a stitch marker right in the middle of my panel. Okay, and you can count your stitches and put a stitch marker in the middle. That's where you are going to start going one side and the other side for your neck. Okay, so I'm going to chain one and turn the work. Going to make half double crochet in every stitch until there are 3 stitches left. There are 3 stitches left. Now we are going to do our decrease, and we are going to work the 3 stitches together. Okay, so I'm going to yarn over, insert the hook in the next, pull up a loop, insert the hook in the next chain and pull up a loop. So I've got 1 2 3 4 loops. Insert the hook in the last, got 1 2 3 4 5, yarn over and pull through all the loops. We're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And then from here we are going to do another decrease, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop. Okay, this one is going to be a little bit different, and then yarn over, insert the hook, pull through, and then pull through all the 5 loops. And then work half double crochet until end of the row. So do the same thing, half double crochet, chain 2, turn your work, and then come until there are 3 stitches left. Okay, I've worked the other row. We are going to do a 3 stitch decrease again, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop. We got 3 loops. Insert the hook in the next one, pull up a loop. Now you got 4. Insert the hook in the last, pull up a loop. Got 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, you're going to yarn over and pull through all the 5 loops. Chain 1 and turn your work. And then we are going to do two stitch decrease this time around. Yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all the 5 loops, and then work double crochet until the end of the row. Okay, we are going to do our final 3D decrease together. Set the hook, Okay, chain 1 and then turn the work. And then do another 2 stitch decrease. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of decrease. In total you need 10 rows. So after this one you are only going to work double crochet stitches until you reach the number of rows you need. Okay, this is my row 7. From here I got 3 more rows to go without any decrease, so it's going to turn more like a square from here. I've worked half double crochet on each stitch. Okay, going to chain 2 and then turn the work, and then work half double crochet on each stitch until you have the same number of rows for the back panel and the front panel. Okay, and then you are going to do the same thing here. After you finish with these rows, you are going to attach your yarn, work all this here, and then make 3 stitch decrease in the first stitch, and then go into the next one with 2 stitch decreases. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of decreases before you work normal stitches without any decrease. So you guys finish up on this side and then move on to the other side for the neck. Okay, we are going to do our final 3D decrease together. Set the hook. Okay, chain 1 and then turn the work. And then do another 2 stitch decrease. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of decrease. In total you need 10 rows. So after this one you are only going to work double crochet stitches until you reach the number of rows you need. Okay, this is my row 7. From here I got 3 more rows to go without any decrease, so it's going to turn more like a square from here. I've worked half double crochet on each stitch. Okay, going to chain 2 and then turn the work, and then work half double crochet on each stitch until you have the same number of rows for the back panel and the front panel. Okay, and then you are going to do the same thing here. After you finish with these rows, you are going to attach your yarn, work all this here, and then make 3 stitch decrease in the first stitch, and then go into the next one with 2 stitch decreases. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of decreases before you work normal stitches without any decrease. So you guys finish up on this side and then move on to the other side for the neck. I'm going to show you how to work on the other side of the neck. It's still going to be the same thing, just the decrease, but this time around we are starting from the middle towards the edge of the panel. I'm going to insert the hook and then pull up yarn. Okay, make sure you secure the yarn on the back. Chain 1. Next, you are going to insert the hook in the same stitch, pull up a loop, insert the hook in the second, pull up a loop. We've got 3, yarn over, insert the hook in the third chain, and then pull through all the loops. Okay, we are going to do our final 3D decrease together. Set the hook. Okay, chain 1 and then turn the work. And then do another 2 stitch decrease. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of decrease. In total you need 10 rows. So after this one you are only going to work double crochet stitches until you reach the number of rows you need. Okay, this is my row 7. From here I got 3 more rows to go without any decrease, so it's going to turn more like a square from here. I've worked have double crochet on each stitch. Okay, going to chain 2 and then turn the work and then work half double crochet on each stitch until you have the same number of rows for the back panel and the front panel. Okay, and then you are going to do the same thing here. After you finish with these rows, you are going to attach your yarn, work all this here, and then make 3 stitch decrease in the first stitch, and then go into the next one with 2 stitch decreases. So you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of decreases before you work normal stitches without any decrease. So you guys finish up on this side and then move on to the other side for the neck. Okay, I am done with my 4 straight rows. So this is how our neckline looks like. Okay, so we are done. Leave long enough tail that you will use to seam the front panel to the back panel later. Gonna cut the yarn and fasten off. Okay, and then you are going to repeat the same thing that we did on this side on the other side. I am going to show you how to work the other side of the front panel. This time around you are working from the center towards the edge of the panel. So I'm going to insert my hook and then pull up a loop. Okay, and then secure the strand at the back and then chain 1. All right, so we are going to make a decrease in the next 3 stitches like we did here. I'm going to insert the hook in the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert the hook in the second, pull up a loop. So you got 3. You're going to yarn over and then insert the hook, pull up a loop in the third one. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. Yarn over and pull through the 5 loops. Okay, so this is our first decrease. Next, you are going to make a double crochet stitch on each stitch until you get end of the row. Done with the first row. Okay, next you are going to chain 2 and turn your work, and you are going to work half double crochet on each stitch until you have 2 stitches left. So I'll meet you guys here and then do the last decrease together. Okay, I have 2 stitches together. We're going to make that decrease. This one we're just doing decreases into 2 stitches. Yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, insert the hook in the next one, pull up a loop. So you have 4 instead of 5. Yarn over and pull through the 4 loops, chain 1 and then you turn. So you are going to repeat this row 2 more times. That will give you get you to row 6, and then from row 7 to row 10 you only have one. From row 7 to row 10 you only make 1 stitch per stitch. Sorry, English. Okay, we are going to make a sleeve. I've already made one, so we are going to make one together. So this is how it is going to look. And I have 45 stitches here. So this is my armpit depth. Okay, I found the tape. So my sleeve is 15 inches wide, and how I determined that is I measured my armpit depth. I measured from the top outside edge of my shoulder down to my armpit. Okay, and that's how you determine how many stitches you are going to need. And my sleeve here is 17 inches, and then I added another, I think, 2 inches with my ribbing here. So I think all in all my sleeve is 19 inches. Yeah, it is 19 inches in total. So it depends on how long you want your sleeves to be. And let's get started. Okay, we are going to start with a slip knot. Okay, and with this one I am making a foundation half double crochet. I'm going to chain 2 and then start my foundation. If this is too tricky for you, just chain however many chains you need, and then just work double crochet on your chains. Okay, got my first half double crochet. I'm inserting the hook on both loops at the bottom here. This is my second. I'm going to do this until I have 45 stitches. Okay, I got my 45 stitches. Now I am moving on. I'm going to chain 2 and work half double crochet on each stitch. I'm just going to start in the very first stitch. We are using just this stitch throughout the pattern. So you are going to work your rows until you have the sleeve length you want. I want mine to be 17 inches, and that is 43 rows. Okay, I'll meet you guys at the end of my 43rd row, and then we move on to our ribbing. I am done with my 43 rows for the sleeve. This is how it looks. We are moving on to the ribbing to finish up our sleeve. And with the ribbing, I'm using a 4.5 millimeter hook. If you want to continue using the 5.5 millimeter hook that we've been using, that is still fine. I just like mine to be a little bit snug and tight around my cuff. Okay, and we are going to continue from this, from the body of the sleeve. We are going to chain 11. All right, and then turn it to the side, and we are going to work slip stitch on the second chain from the hook. And I like to do this on the back bump. If you look closely, there's this 2 loops here, and then there's a bump at the back, and that's where I'm inserting my hook and make a slip stitch. I'm going to do this on each stitch or each chain. I am done with my slip stitches. I should have 10 because I started with 11 chains, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 slip stitches. Okay, next I am going to make a slip knot on the second chain, sorry, second stitch, because this is considered the first one, and then make another one on the next chain. I'm then going to turn my work, and then I am going to work a slip stitch on the back loop. This is the front, this is the back, so you insert the hook on the loop furthest to you. You do this until end of the row. Okay, done with the second row. Chain 1 and 10, and you're going to repeat the same thing that we did here, still inserting the hook in the back loop, the one furthest from you. Okay, working the very last slip stitch here. One thing to guide you guys is make sure you count your stitches after every row. So I've got 9. It's very easy for me to miss out the very last stitch, which is always like kind of hidden and tucked away. So I have 9. This is my 10th. Now I have the same number of stitches. Otherwise you'll keep decreasing if you miss out the very last stitch at the end. Okay, we're going to make slip stitch into the next 2 stitches here. Slip stitch, slip stitch and then turn the work. Some people do chain one here like this and then continue. I just don't like that. It has a little bit of an untidy loop as you look closely, so I don't normally do that. But if you want to chain one, you are welcome to do that. Okay, we're doing the same thing, doing slip stitch in the back loop. This is it, guys. You just repeat this row. When you get here, you make a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches and then go back, make slip stitch in the back loop. Repeat this until the end of the sleeve. Working on the last slip stitches for our sleeve, and this is how it looks, guys. So nice and stretchy. Now leave long enough tail that will seam the sleeve on the sides or later. I normally just like to put the yarn loosely around or along the length of the sleeve and then cut the yarn and fasten off. Next, we will be seaming our cardigan. Okay, guys, it is time to seam our sweater. I've already done this part. This is the front panel and this is the back panel. I have put a stitch marker here and then we are going to do this one together. Okay, I'm using the long tail that I left on my front panel. I'm just gonna go back and forth like this, inserting my needle on both loops. Okay, but you are welcome to use whichever method you prefer. I'm gonna make the last loop again just to make it nice and tight. I'm just gonna make a knot here. So this is how it looks, and then on the other side, look at how nice and seamless it is. Okay, and then you're just gonna seam through, weave in the ends, and then cut your yarn. Okay. Okay, next we are going to seam our sleeves on the panel. So this is the front panel, this is the back panel. And how I determined where to put this stitch marker like I did here, I counted how many stitches I have and then divided it by 2 and then put a stitch marker here and then make sure it's right in the middle of the both panels. I have my long tail here, so make sure you cut long enough tail so that you don't run out of yarn as you put your sleeve up in. Okay, I'm just gonna and then I'm just gonna double knot here just to secure it. Okay, and then go over it again. From here I'm going to do the same thing that I did in the panels, going zigzag on each stitches. Repeat this until you get to the end of the sleeve. I'm still working on the back panel. I'm going towards the middle now, so we'll keep doing this and then we will meet right at the end of the sleeve. Working on the very last stitch of our seam here. And then continue to just weave ends through and then cut the yarn. Okay, we are going to sew our sleeve together. I am using the long tail that we left after we finished the sleeve. Okay, and we are going to do the same thing that we did with the panels. Use the method you prefer to seam your sleeve. Continue seaming your sleeve until you finish, and then we are going to move to the side of our sweater. if you have long enough tail, you are going to continue seaming on the sides. All right, so we are done with the sleeve. Now we have to continue working on here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to have a long split on my sweater, so I'm only going to seam from the shoulder all the way down to maybe 17 inches or around my belly button. If you want to seam your sweater to go all the way down, you are welcome to do so, but for me, I am going to have a long side split. Okay, I have my sweater sideways so that you get an idea of what I'm trying to say. So this is the top of the shoulder, and I'm going to seam my sweater up until this, which is 17 inches. If you want to go down, please keep seaming until you are comfortable with this split. It's a pretty long sweater, and I want that room for me to walk without feeling like I'm tripping over my sweater. I am almost done with my side seam. So you are going to repeat the same thing that we did with the sleeve and then the side, and then we will meet again for our excuse me, for our border on the neck and around and the bottom of our sweater. And you're gonna, okay, this is how it looks. So you're going to repeat the same thing on this side, and then I'll meet you guys to make the edge for our sweater. Okay, now that we are done with seaming our sweater, we are moving on to making a border for our neckline. Okay, and we are going to make our border with slip stitch throughout. Okay, so I'm going to insert the hook here, and then we're gonna go around. All right, so I'm gonna start right on top of my sweater and pull up a loop. I'm just gonna chain one. Okay, and then I'm going to have a slip stitch throughout my neckline. You can just have one slip stitch on each row. If there is a gap, you can do 2 slip stitches in one stitch to close up the gap. Okay, we'll see how this one is. I think this would be okay. So continue to do this. you're gonna go around continuously, and then we will meet here. Okay, I have made my slip stitches around the neckline. I put a stitch marker here just to help me know where I am, where my first stitch is. Okay, next I'm going to insert the hook here and then pull up a loop, make a slip stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now when we get here, we are working our stitches in the front loop. If you look very closely, we have this is the back loop and this is the front loop, and we are going to insert our hook in all the front loops only, not both of them. Okay, so the front loop is the loop that is closest to you. That's the easiest way for you to figure that out. All right, I think my first one is here, and I'm going to make a slip stitch. Okay, you are going to do this around until you get to the beginning. If you have a stitch marker, then you're gonna go around, slip stitch in the front loop until we get here. Okay, I have come to the end of the second round. I'm just gonna insert the hook here and then pull up a loop, chain 1 and then turn again, and we are going to repeat the same thing. We are going to work on the front loop, this one, the loop closest to you. Okay, you are going to do the same thing, so repeat this 3 more times. That's 1 and then 2 more times, I guess, and then I'll meet you guys after that. Working on the last 2 stitches for my neckline. Okay, and then one more, join with slip stitch, and then cut the yarn. And we are done with our neckline, guys. This is how it looks. Okay, next we are going to do 1 stitch along the side split. This is the side. Okay, we are almost done with our sweater. So the next one is we are going to make an edging on the side hem or the side split. So if you look at this is the side split. Okay, I've already done this side. We are going to do the other side together. And the way I have decided to make my edging is I've chosen which side would be the right side, and I'm making my stitches with the right side facing me. Okay, so I am going to insert the hook at the very the edge of the stitch, and I'm going to pull up a loop. Okay, and I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to make a single crochet on each stitch. Okay, Just evenly distribute your stitches. If you feel like you're going to have a gap, make sure you make your single crochet close to each other. Okay, this is how it looks so far. So I'm going to continue doing that. Repeat until you get to the end of the panel. I wanted to show you how I did at the tip of, or where the panels meet. This is the back panel, this is the front panel. I'm just working single crochet as normal, doing it into the last one on the back panel, and then just continue to move on to the other panel. We are coming to an end of our tutorial, guys. Okay, I'm gonna cut the yarn and fasten off, and then you weave the ends in for you. Congratulations! Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you had fun and you like the pattern. Please do not forget to subscribe, share this video, gives it a thumbs up, and please share your makes with me on social media. My handle is Knit Essentials and on Facebook and Instagram. I will see you in the next video.